right, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite father of the bride, Dan Goodman, to the microphone for a toast.
Hello, everybody. I want to start by saying thank you all for coming to celebrate Harleigh and Rafael's wedding. I know that a lot of people have come from far and near, and we appreciate it. It's so important to us to have all of our family and friends here with us to celebrate on this special day. I've had a lot of blessings in my life. The blessings of family, the blessings of friends, the blessing of having the parents, my parents, David and Phyllis, who showed me nothing but unconditional love throughout the course of my entire life. Vicky's had the blessing of having her mother, Janice, who was nothing but a loving, caring mother who gave her nothing but unconditional love. And I want you, Harleigh, and you, Rafael, to understand that they're both here looking down and smiling upon you in this wedding. I felt it so strongly, and I know that they're watching you. I've also had the blessing of being married to my beautiful wife, Vicky, who I always felt was... I love you too. Who I always knew to be heaven sent from my parents, watching down upon me. They've played such an important part in my life, both before and after their death. And Vicky and I together have had the blessing of having our two children, David and Harleigh, for whom we have nothing but unconditional love, and that's the way that our family is run. Enough about David and on to Harleigh. It's her day. I was looking at these numerous... I love you, buddy. I love you too, buddy. I was looking at all these photographs that I have in my office. I've a ton of photographs on all my credenzas. They're filled up with my children from the time that they were infants through present. And the other day I sat down in my chair and I spun around and I looked at all the beautiful photographs I have of Harleigh riding a horse, just so many special memories of this beautiful young lady. She is smart, she's compassionate, she is loving, she is kind, she is loyal, she is sincere. She's the daughter that every parent would be extremely proud to have, and Vicky and I could not be any prouder. The only issue with Harleigh, and it wasn't really an issue, was that, well, it really isn't her issue, it's my issue. I'm a strong member of DADS, D-A-D-D-S. It's Daughters Against Dads Dating. Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah, right. Dads Against Daughters Dating. I was just checking to make sure that Harleigh was listening. So that was very, very true until she met Rafael. And when she met Rafael, she met this very, very special young man. He too, number one, he's a gentleman. Number two, he is loyal. He is sincere. He is loving. He's compassionate. He's just an incredible young man. Not only is Rafael my son-in-law, but throughout the course of their relationship over 4 years, we've become very, very, very good friends. We horseback ride together. We've gone on road trips together. We've spent a lot of time together, and we've also spent a lot of time together traveling as a family. So I couldn't really think of anybody who would be a better husband for my daughter, a better son-in-law for Vicky and I, and brother-in-law for David. We love you. We love you with all of our hearts, and we're so happy to have you in our family. Now, together with Rafael comes his wonderful family. Kayla, Jaime, Diego, Max. We've already spent a lot of good times together, and we look forward to spending so many more good times together. So this is a day where it's very special. It's very natural. There's absolutely nothing negative about it. And it's yet another blessing to have Rafael in our life. And it's funny because we used to be out together and people would say to him, "Who's that?" And it's like, "Oh, he's my father-in-law." Then they'd ask me, "Who's that?" I'd say, "Oh, he's my son-in-law." It's nice that it's official. So I would like to make a toast to Rafael and to Harleigh. Your mother and I love you with all of our heart. We wish you nothing but happiness, happiness, and happiness for the rest of your lives. Mazel tov, l'chaim, y salud.
I would like to invite father of the groom, Jaime Garcia.
Thank you. Okay, I'm not really good at talking in front of so many people, so I just want to say thank you, everyone, for coming and celebrate with us the marriage of my son and Rafael and Harleigh. And I want to say thank you, too, for putting all this together for everyone to enjoy, Vicky and Dan. And I just want to say congratulations for the two of you, and you know how much I love you, or we love you. Thank you.
I would like to invite matron of honor and cousin of the bride, Erin Cervantes.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I would just like to start off by saying thank you so much for being here tonight to celebrate Harleigh and Raph. I know they are so thankful to see all of your smiling faces here tonight, so really thank you for coming and making the trip. So as Harleigh's cousin, most of you would think that we have known each other our whole lives. Well, we haven't. We just recently met about 2 years ago when a DNA test actually confirmed that Vicky's dad was not the father. Insert Maury music here. So when a bomb like that is dropped, it really can go one of two ways. It can go really well or really bad. It went pretty good. I'm standing here giving a speech, so I'm going to say it went pretty well that night. And thankfully, Raph was there to be a part of the whole experience for Harleigh. While I've only been around Harleigh and Raph for a couple of years now, I can definitely see that they are truly a match made in heaven. They complement each other so well, and you can tell that they truly are made for each other. And marriage is definitely hard. You're in for a treat. It takes work, but there's nothing better than going through life with somebody who you know is going to have your back 100%. And that truly is the best part about being married. So I know they're in for such a great life together, and I know you all can't wait to watch them go through it. So everybody, please raise a glass for Harleigh and Raph. Cheers.
I would like to invite bridesmaid Karen Collins to the microphone.
Good evening, everybody. Buenos tardes. If you haven't had the chance to meet me yet, my name is Karen. Harleigh and I have been best friends for about 6 years now. Long time. We met in high school honors U.S. history class and instantaneously bonded over the loathe we had for Dr. O'Shaughnessy. We made it through, though. As you can see, we have had many memories since then. Something special about my best friend Harleigh is that we always tell each other the truth. Shoes, clothes, guys, everything. Harleigh and Raph met at prom. They went with different dates, as you know, yet they still made an unforgettable impression on each other. When she told me about Raph during the weeks that followed prom, I could tell she was absolutely crazy about him. Like they spent every waking hour with each other. I soon realized that I wasn't the only best friend in the relationship anymore, and he was gonna stick around. I'm kind of a jealous person. But I like him, so it's okay. Harleigh and Raph met by fate, and I have watched them grow closer in love every year that passes. Their relationship is a true testament to the laughter, the joy, and adventure that love has to offer. Today is another page in their love story and a new beginning of the lifetime of memories. So from the bottom of my heart, I love you. Good luck. And let's raise our glasses to the bride and groom and wish them a life full of happiness. Cheers.
I would like to invite best man and brother of the groom, Max Garcia.
I'm gonna just read it. Okay. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Raph's youngest brother. Growing up, Raph was always someone I wanted to be like. Raph was the coolest person in the world to me, and I would do anything I could to impress him. Just for him to acknowledge me or even one of my accomplishments made me feel like the coolest kid in the world. As I grow older, I realize he's really not that cool anymore, but that's besides the point. I'd like to give a huge thanks to Harleigh for always including me and making me feel extremely supported. I'd also like to give you a special thanks for trying your absolute hardest to set me up with any girl my age you meet or run into ever. It hasn't worked at all quite yet since I'm still single, but I'm sure you'll find your ideal girl for me one day. Seeing you guys and your relationship over the years has made me realize what true love really is. Although you guys met at prom and weren't even each other's dates, you've truly made the most out of your time together. One of my basketball coaches has an expression he likes to share before every single game. People get hit by buses every day. Basically what that means is that things happen in life. Every day is not promised, and we are to make the most out of our lives. I'm saying this expression because I see it within both of you. Not the getting hit by buses part, but its meaning. I truly believe you guys are making the absolute most of your relationship and lives, and I know you will continue to do so for the rest of your lives. Harleigh, Tonio, I love both of you guys, and I hope your love lasts like Shrek and Fiona, happily ever after.
I would like to invite best man and brother of the groom, Diego Garcia.
It's kind of tough to follow up to the best speech I've ever heard in my life. All right, well, I want to begin by saying thank you to everyone for being here. It's truly a blessing. I want to say thank you to Ma and Pa for raising us and teaching us the way, and you guys have meant so much for us, and we couldn't be where we are at right now without you guys. And to the Goodmans, thank you so much for organizing so much of this. That it's an incredible time to be here and a place to be here. So with that being said, I want to start by saying me and Raph, believe it or not, haven't always had the best relationship. And speaking of which, did I ever tell you the time that that this guy almost shot my head off? To make a long story short, we had a neighbor who had a set of bow and arrows, and they were aiming at the door, and I opened the door as he shot at the target, and it missed my head by about 5 inches. So I think that's like as low as it gets for a brotherly relationship. But it's been all good since then. It's only been up. So, this is probably the part where I, as the 25-year-old older brother, am to tell Antonio some elderly advice on how to navigate life, marriage, how to start a family, how you should invest more in your Roth IRA. But it seems like you're going to get to that a little bit before me, so I'm going to be looking to you. And I think that's been a pattern in these past few years. This guy, he's mature beyond his age, and he's actually someone I look up to a lot, even as the older brother. So I am so incredibly proud to be your brother, and I love you very much. And I know that you will accomplish great things. And you two together make a great team. So with that being said, en español para mis familiares ahí y Lupita visitando de México, nada más dije que yo y Antonio nunca hemos tenido la mejor relación como hermanos, pero vamos mejorando esa relación y lo quiero mucho y pues a celebrar hoy. Entonces, salud y mazel tov.
I would like to invite groomsman and brother of the bride, David Goodman.
I'm a little too drunk for that. Okay, first of all, I want to say whoever's idea it was to give me a microphone, bad idea. But before anything else, I just want to say good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight to celebrate the marriage of my two best friends in this world, Harleigh and Rafael. For anyone who wasn't paying attention, my name is David Goodman. I'm Harleigh's little brother. Obviously, slightly younger, much better looking. But before I get going, I want to warn everybody that like every great essay I've written in college, I wrote this with less than 12 hours to go. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to tell everybody a few short stories about the newlyweds here. Harleigh and I were born 15 months apart, and she was none too thrilled to have a baby brother. No, not at all, actually. She was so upset by this fact that she took the bassinet that my parents brought me home in and rammed it into our kitchen cabinets under the sink at full speed while I was still inside of it. Not even 5 minutes in the life of my new house, I had already survived attempted murder, and I learned I was going to be one tough kid. Eventually, though, Harleigh did kind of realize that she was going to have to get used to me being around, and at the very least, you know, she had to be used to it, but eventually she learned to like me, I think. See, in high school, I didn't have a lot of friends, and the ones that I did, really not the greatest people. By the time I finished my junior year, they had pretty much all turned on me, and there was only one person in my school who knew anything about what was going on with me, and it was my sister. She actually found me sitting alone in a hall one day, and without repeating what she said, because fun fact, Harleigh swears more than I do, she kind of asked me what I was doing and said, absolutely not, you're coming with me. And from that day forward, I spent every day that we had at that school and every second that we had free together. And she quickly became the most important person in my life. As a result of that, you know, as I said before, we're 15 months apart. So I'm a year younger than her. I was a junior, she was a senior, which meant that inevitably she would graduate, and I would be left behind at Loyola Academy. I survived my senior year. I'm still here. But I did the only sensible thing that an overprotective little brother who was panicked as hell about what his sister was doing at college would do. I applied to that same school. I got accepted, and damn it, I went. So, fun fact about Loyola, Raph actually lives in Rogers Park, which is the neighborhood that Loyola is situated in. My sophomore year in the summer leading up to it in July, I got my first apartment. And being a one-bedroom, not having any roommates, I was like, all right, well, who the hell do I hang out with? Quickly turned to Rafael because I was like, he only lives a 2-minute walk away. You know, if he's a half-decent, maybe future brother-in-law, he'll come over. Next thing I know, I couldn't get rid of the kid. You know, every single day he would be at my apartment playing NHL 19 with me, making guacamole for me, because even though I can cook well, I don't know what the hell you do, but I need to learn. And, you know, just over the course of that, spending time with him away from my sister, I was able to really get a sense of, you know, who he was. And I was able to just kind of pick his brain the way I would. One day we're playing NHL 19. Text pops up on his phone. He pauses the game. Of course, I'm mad because I'm kicking his ass. And he just looks at me and says, I love your sister so much. And I'm thinking in my head, like, where'd this come from? And he just sends me, like, some stupid selfie that Harleigh had sent him with her tongue out, head half sideways. And it was in that moment that I realized, you know, I didn't have to follow Harleigh to Loyola and be that overprotective little brother. I realized in that moment that that was what Rafael was going to be and what he was. And aside from being my best friend, I know that he is probably the best person in the world that my sister could have married. And with that, I would like to raise a glass and say congratulations to you two.
I would now like to invite your couple, Raf and Harleigh, to the microphone.
We're still talking. Too quiet, too quiet.
All good?
Yeah. Oh, God.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. We love you all. You know, it's a great night.
We're so glad you guys came to celebrate with us the next chapter in our life.
Exactly.
And yeah, we're really glad you all make it, especially with COVID, putting a wrench in all of our plans and us definitely stressing about it. We're really appreciative that you guys all made it out here and a lot of people traveled from far. So we really appreciate it. We just wanted to make a quick note to everyone that we have your favors on your table, which we're going to talk about now and do. So you can take it home with you, hopefully. So everyone can take it out. It's in their napkin. So it's a lottery ticket. My grandma, who unfortunately passed away, was not able to be here for obvious reasons. So in honor of my grandma, we did lottery tickets. Shh, I'm talking. In honor of my grandma, we did lottery tickets. She would always gift them to us for like any holiday, or even like Raf can attest, anything, holiday, Christmas, birthday. She always gave us lottery tickets. So we wanted to figure out a way to honor her tonight. So everyone has a little lucky penny that I and my bridesmaid Karen and my mom individually glued on every single one. So please use that penny. I wish you all luck. I hope you all win. If you do, please give it back to me and Raf so we can play for our honeymoon. But for real, if you guys win, let us know. We'd be really happy to know. So you guys can all go ahead and scratch those off now. And then if you win, come find us later. I want to know. Thank you all again so much for coming.
Thanks, guys. We love you.
Looks like we got a winner over here. All right, I'd like to invite the bridesmaid and one of the bride's best friends, Karen Collins, for the blessing.
Why not take all?
Oh, we're good. Did you get a good one, Kayla? ¿Ganaste? Wow. ¿Ganaste? Oh, okay. All right, guys. So again, you already met me a few minutes ago. So Harleigh and I went to Catholic school. She was raised in mixed religions, but she picked a Catholic to bless the food. So you might all be familiar with this prayer. Feel free to join me. So I'll begin. Bless us, O Lord, in these thy gifts we are about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. Y en español voy a decir, bendiciones a esta comida. Gracias por Dios que estamos aquí juntos a celebrar el matrimonio de Harleigh y Raf, ¿ok?